Storybugs.
Hello and welcome to Storytime. I'm really glad you're here. We are going to read the next chapter of Bambi, and this was adapted from the film by Joan Ryder, illustrated by David Pacheco and Jesse Clay. And if you really like this chapter, will you do me a favor and give the video a thumbs up? Thanks. Chapter 6. Bambi soon learned that winter days were not always such happy ones. The brown, dead grass in the meadow was buried under drifts of snow, and there were no tangy leaves on the bushes. The deer spent their days hunting for food, and what they found to eat was never enough. Winter was a hard time for all the animals who remained in the woods and stayed awake all season long. In some ways, the animals like Flower, who slept through the long winter, were more fortunate than those who did not hibernate. Some winters, like this one, were very harsh. Even in his warm, furry coat, Bambi could feel the frigid winds. He shivered, following his mother through the blinding snowstorms. They could not hide in their thicket from the snow. They had to stay outside and search for food. The deer began to eat the bark on the young trees. At first, they stripped off pieces of bark near the ground. As they failed to find other food, the deer stripped the bark higher and higher up the tree trunks. I've seen that in the trees around here. The deer do that in the winter. They eat the bark of the tree. While snow blew around her, Bambi's mother reached high, standing against a tree, to get a strip of bark. She gave it to her fawn, and he gobbled it up quickly. Bambi and his mother wandered through the woods day after day, hoping to find something to eat that the others had missed. But one day, all the young trees were stripped of bark as high as Bambi's mother could reach. She licked her fawn's face tenderly. If only there were some food she could give him. The two hungry deer went home without supper. "Winter sure is long, isn't it?" Bambi asked. "It seems long, but it won't last forever," his mother said, hoping to comfort him. As they rested, Bambi snuggled against her and tried to stay warm. "I'm awfully hungry, Mother," he told her. "Yes, I know," she said, touching him gently till he fell asleep. For her young fawn's sake, she wished with all her heart that winter would end soon. One morning, Bambi's mother took him to the snow-covered meadow. She noticed a difference in the air. It was a little warmer, and tiny streams had begun to thaw and trickle through the field. "Look," she called to Bambi. There was a green patch in the snow. "It's new spring grass," she said, and the two deer ran to it. Bambi gobbled the grass. Nothing had ever tasted so good to him, and he wished he could keep on eating until he was full. Suddenly, his mother stopped eating. She stretched her long neck and looked all around her. She sniffed the air and turned her long ears to hear a soft crunching in the snow. Someone was nearby. "Bambi!" she called, frightened. "Quick, go to the thicket!" Bambi obeyed and ran across the snowy field. He leapt over the tiny melting streams. His mother followed him quickly. "Faster!" she called to him. "Faster, Bambi!" He heard the fear in her voice, and he looked back to catch sight of her. "Don't look back," she called firmly. "Keep running." Bambi ran across the snowy meadow and into the forest. Behind him, a loud noise blasted. Boom! He ran faster, not looking back, remembering his mother's words. The young deer kept on running through the woods until he reached his home. "We made it," he called, stopping to take a breath at last. He waited, but he did not hear his mother's footsteps. Where was she? "Mother!" he called and ran outside. Look, that's him. All around him snow was falling. He hoped to see his mother running toward him, but he did not, and he began to cry. "Mother!" Bambi called again, and he wandered through the storm looking for her. It was so hard to see anything or anyone through the curtain of falling snow. Suddenly, a shadowy shape appeared, and Bambi jumped back. He looked hard through the blinding snow and saw the figure of the great prince in front of him. "Your mother," said the stag in a deep, sad voice, "can't be with you any more." Stunned, Bambi remembered his mother's fear and the loud noise. He remembered that noise as part of the danger his mother had called man long ago. Hunters had come to the forest again, and this time they had taken his mother away. As Bambi cried softly, thinking of her, the large stag spoke gently. "Come, my son." The stag knew it was time for him to watch over Bambi and keep him safe. Bambi followed his father through the woods, but he stopped now and then to look back, missing his mother. He would never forget her, and he would always remember her love for him. That's always a hard chapter to read. When we lose the people we love, it hurts a lot. But we keep going forward and we just remember them forever and always. Thank you guys for joining me today, and I hope you'll come back for the next chapter. If you guys enjoyed reading that story, would you please click subscribe down below? We read new stories just like this one every day, and we would love to let you know when there's a new story to listen to.